Shalom, Israel. Most High and Yahweh Shah bless. This is your brother Ezekiel from the Sons of God Israelite Camp, Alabama.
Brother Gideon by Israel.
Brother Tobias.
Con. Hey, so the name of our class today is going to be Our Deliverance Draws Near. Hey, somebody get me in Matthew chapter 24, start at verse 3.
I got you. The book of Matthew, chapter 24. You say start at verse 3.
Con.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, what shall these things be? And he said, And what shall be the signs of thy coming and of the end of the world?
Con. So we know Yahweh Shah shared all the mysteries of the kingdoms with his disciples that he knew. The only thing he didn't know was the exact date, time, and hour of his coming. However, he did know the season. So listen to what he's about to tell his disciples.
Verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
So many is going to come in Yahweh Shah's name, and they're going to deceive many. And that not only includes fake Christians, but it includes Israelites too, brothers who know they're Israel and in the truth, or claim to be in the truth. Many is going to come in his name and shall deceive many. Go ahead.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So we're going to hear wars and rumors of wars. So, we constantly hear about the U.S. going to war with China, over Taiwan. We currently got war going on between Amalek and the Palestinians now, as well as war going on between the so-called Ukrainians and the Russians. So we're hearing wars and rumors of wars right now at this time. Go ahead up.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
So just going back, nations are going to rise against nations, battle. There's going to be pestilence. So, we recently had the so-called C-19. Now I think there's supposed to be a new virus coming out from the land of Moab over there. And we got earthquakes that's happening all over the earth. And every time I turn around, there's a new earthquake, like daily, man. It seems like every minute, at least every hour or so. I forgot how many volcanoes they said that were going off, at one time. So all these things are happening on the earth, but the end is not yet. These are just the beginning of sorrows. Go to Matthew drop down to verse 29.
Verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give out her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken.
So immediately after those days, coming out, it's talking about the tribulation. So one of the things that we were led to believe in Christianity is that there was going to be a so-called rapture, like Yahweh Shah was just going to come back secretly somehow, and the only people that was going to know he came back was the ones he kidnapped. Basically raptured up. When the scripture said that when he comes, every eye shall see him. So you're gonna have to go through that tribulation. There ain't gonna be no getting around the tribulation. All of us are gonna go through the tribulation. All of us gonna be martyred or killed for this truth, for the witness of Yahweh Shah and his testimony that we hold. But ain't no getting around that tribulation. And the only people that's gonna be saved are the ones who are gonna be endure to the end. They're the only ones who's gonna be saved. And when I say only ones, I'm not speaking of all people. It's just speaking. The Bible just speaks of the Israelites being saved, the 1/3, the ones who are going to repent and come back to the law, statute, and commandment. Hey, let's go to Revelations chapter 2, start at verse 10.
The book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou come. My bad. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee the crown of life.
God. I mean, so we're going to go through tribulation, and the devil just being a deceiver. Esau is going to cast us into prison. So be faithful until the end. 10 days. That's just talking about complete number of days. So there's no telling you how long you may be stuck in those FEMA camps or whatever. I think recently, the state of not California, but New York. I think recently that it was a rule 321 or something like that, which basically was giving the governor basically authority to just come into your house and basically for any reason there's like another outbreak or whatever, and to basically take you from your house, lock you up for any number of length of time, no end on it, just as they see fit. These are times that we coming into known as Jacob's trouble. Go ahead.
I got a precept for y'all. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 9. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance?
God. So it's going to be dangers on both sides. You got the war, you got the fire, but it's going to be dangers on both sides. So you got to go through it, just like Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah came on this earth, and he had to be tested. You know what I'm saying? He went to the cross for his obedience for us. So the servant is not greater than the master. So if Yahweh Shah went through that, who are we that we shouldn't have to face such dangers and tribulation? We're gonna have to go through our trials and tribulations too, and just like him,
That's right.
be faithful unto the end. You know what I'm saying? Yahweh Shah was faithful unto the end, to the cross, and all power was given unto him. We're going to be joint heirs with him, so we too got to carry our cross. We got to go through, not literally being crucified, but going through the trials and tribulations that we're going to be put through in these latter times. Go back to Revelation 2 and
11. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 11. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death.
So in these end times, there's two things that we look to be delivered from. Obviously, from all the hands of those that hate us, but as mentioned, some of us are going to be put to death. Some of us are going to be off for this truth. So we're looking forward to being delivered from that second death, that lake of fire that's coming upon this earth in the form of those thermonuclear missiles. So be faithful unto the end and keep the commandments, and you'll be delivered from those things. Let's go to hold on for a minute. Let's go to hold on for a minute. You brothers got something, you go ahead and bring it out, man. Okay, so one of the things that's coming upon this earth, we know. So World War III isn't fully going to be kicked off until that mark of the beast is introduced in the form of that so-called microchip. And for anybody that's believing that just because you got a microchip on your credit card, your debit card, that that doesn't mean that there's going to be a microchip that Esau is going to try to force you to put in your flesh. You know what I'm saying? With that debit card, that credit card, I mean, you can easily dispose. If you don't want to pay with that, you don't got to pay with that. You still got actual cash that you can pay with. You got checks, you got money orders, you can pay online. However, when this mark of the beast come out, which is going to be in a form of that so-called microchip, that's going to be the only form of payment that you're going to have. Let's go to that Revelations chapter 13, verse 16.
Into the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
So we know that Elon Musk is currently, I believe the FDA gave him approval to start testing that link that he has. And there's like thousands of people lined up to get that. You know, why? I mean, they're thinking currently. I mean, granted, if we wasn't in this truth and you were paraplegic, you were paralyzed, and somebody offered you the opportunity to get a Neuralink or a microchip, affixed to your brain, that you can communicate with computers or even move your limbs, you're gonna think that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but spiritually, that's witchcraft on the left hand side. Likewise, if you're not in this truth and you don't have to carry a wallet, you don't got to carry your keys, credit card anymore. All you got to do is get this computer chip in your hand, and it'll allow you to interact with the computers, start your car, open your doors, all that. You might think that is that's a good idea. That's a great idea, but in fact, as stated, according to that's witchcraft according to the scriptures. You got something you want to say out?
Yeah, I just want to bring out the definition for the word mark in Greek. The word is karal, and the definitions are a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses, a thin carved sculpture, grave and work. So, what I'm saying? It's showing that it's going to be something physical. It's going to be, like he said, how we see the world, the economy is moving towards this cashless society. So you're going to have this new form of currency in order to be able to function in society, in order to be able to, work at a job, to get your wages from your job. You're going to have this imprinted or stamped into you. It's nothing physical. It's all, nothing spiritual. It's like it's all physical. This is what John the Revelator was seeing what's going on. We see all these other countries around the world dropping the U.S. dollar. We see countries like Australia. They already said they, pressing towards cashless society. That's when it all started, like you said, during COVID, so-called COVID. There was, people didn't want to deal with cash anymore. You had to use your credit card or another form of currency. That was all trial run to pushing forward towards this mark that is going to be a mandatory push, on society. Man. So, and then when you go into the root word for karam is karos, and it means a pale or a state. So when John the Revelator was seeing these things happening, and you can look up the image of a pale or a state, it look like, it's something that's like driven into the ground. So that's the same way that, this syringe is going to be used to, impale this mark in the inside of you. And it don't matter what hand you get it in, because in another verse, it just say hand. So it don't matter whether it's your right hand or left hand, forehead, you just gonna have to get this new form of currency implanted in your body. Because some people might be amputated, they might have their hands amputated. So wherever you can get this mark, this karama placed inside your body, it is still the mark of the beast, man. So you can't say, well, if you don't get it in your right hand, it ain't the mark of the beast. Nah, man, wherever you get this, if you accept this karama, this mark, you have the mark of beast. And the scripture say, if you receive it, you're going to be burned in the presence of your house and the angel. So you go ahead.
I mean, as you know, man, I mean, Babylon quick, man, to entice the poor our people, man, with these things, bro. So you look at those who's on Section 8 and dependent on government assistance, man. Who you think they start with, man? They're going to start with those guys, you know what I'm saying? Either if you want this continued government assistance, you're going to have to line up. You got to get this, bow down to the image of the beast, man. Get this microchip put in you. Otherwise, you ain't going to be able to, feed your 2-3 little kids, like that. So they always like to start with the poor our people, man. Just like when they came out with that so-called jab, man. I think we mentioned this last week. Who did they want to start with, man? They want to start with the Israelites, man, the Black and Hispanics. So those who are going to they're gonna start with, and it don't matter if the other nations get it, man, because the other nations aren't promised the kingdom. I mean,
Come
they might, they might as well get it, man, because I mean, they going into captivity after this. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so
And look, when they came out with that so-called mosquito bite, they were saying if you didn't get it, you was gonna lose. A lot of people lost their jobs behind it. Well, you know what I'm saying, not getting it because their job was making it mandatory. 'Cause I know my job was trying to make it mandatory too, but like a week before then they said, no, you ain't gotta get it no more. But you know what I'm saying, these business, these stores, they wouldn't allow you to come in there, you know what I'm saying, and do business unless you had proof that you had been, you know what I'm saying, had that mosquito bite. So the same way they did with this right here, it's gonna be the same way they do it the mark of the beast. You ain't gonna
God,
be able to, you know what I'm saying, go into these stores. You ain't gonna be able to work. You ain't gonna be able to function in society unless you have this. They're not only gonna have your parents on there, like I said, you're gonna have your health records. You're gonna have your identification card. All those things are gonna be incorporated in this corral.
God. Yeah, I know a lot of people, man, lost their jobs over this thing, man. Shoot, a lot of guys who were serving Babylon in the military, man, lost their jobs. You know, 19 years of service, man, they get put out because they didn't want to get that mosquito bite. And all of a sudden, you know, they come out with a letter, man, that's inviting those guys back in. But it's like, why would you want to go back in to be experimented on? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, just because you don't get, you know, volunteer to get experimented on, then you lose everything you don't work for. Like, the retirement that you were hoping to get, you know what I'm saying, now because there's an experimental mosquito bite and you don't bow down to that. Now you getting kicked out. Same thing is gonna happen when they make this you know, chip or whatever mandatory, man. At first it's gonna seem voluntary, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people lining up to get it right now, volunteering to get it. And then, you know, when the devil really started coming out, he gonna make that shit mandatory. You know what I'm saying? And you don't get it, man. You ain't gonna be able to participate in society. They can't do that with no goddamn credit card or chip. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because right now you still got cash that you can pay with. You can still write a check, go to Walmart, whatever, get a money order. So that's gonna be different, man, than what people talking about this little chip on your card, man, trying to make light of it. And as far as for, you know, like wickedness, man, the mark being wickedness, there ain't no way you can measure. How you gonna measure wickedness, man? How you gonna buy a sell with wickedness, man? You can't buy a sell with wickedness, man. You know what I'm
The
saying? How
only
you gonna
thing that makes sense is this RFID chip.
come, man? I mean, that's the thing they keep moving towards, man. Every time you turn on the news, man, you know, every time you read the news, they don't really talk about it in mainstream news. They talk about, you know, the World Economic Forum and, you know, fourth industrial revolution, emerging nanotechnology. What technology do you think they're talking about, man? They talk about putting circuitry inside of you. That's why
Right.
they that's why they came out with all those shows we used to watch back in the day, man. With was that a $6 million man, Steve Austin? You know, I'm talking about the Bionic Man or whatever, Bionic Woman. It was to prep you, man, to prepare for these things because they already knew back then, man, what they wanted to do, how they wanted to control you. And so as little kids, man, they put that in your mind, man. This would be something like, man, this would be like cool to have, man. If you had like a bionic eye, this chip or whatever, and you can see like 1,000 miles away. You can listen in 100 miles away. You know, stuff like that, man. They make this shit sound like it's good to have when in fact it's
Right.
not. It's all about control, man.
Right. And the brothers that were teaching, it was like sanctions or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They see that fail right there. Because America put sanctions on countries like Russia, North Korea. They still was able to buy and sell. They was buying and selling with other countries. So they having to change up their doctrine on saying it was sanctions now because it didn't come to pass. America can put sanctions on all these other countries, no matter the other countries, still buy and trade with different other countries other than America.
And even still, man, that's not something that, you know, small. I mean, unless you're talking about small kingdoms, great.
Yeah, they
But
try to say like the third world countries being a poor.
huh, yeah, that don't make any sense either, man, because it's going to be something that comes upon, you know, upon the whole world, man, to try us all. You know what I'm saying? So just like that mosquito bite tried us all, man. Let's go to Revelations chapter 16, start at verse 1.
I got it. Revelation chapter 16 and verse 1. And I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the seven angels, go your ways and pour out the veils of the wrath of God upon the earth.
Keep going up.
And the first went and poured out the vials upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worshipped the image.
So, those for those that do allow and do give into Esau's new world order, so to speak, and allow them to inject with a microchip, man. I mean, this grievous sore, you go back to it. I wish I still had the articles, but there was a study being conducted, man, and I'm just paraphrasing, wherein there was animals that were injected with these microchips, and these animals came down with like various forms of like skin cancer and stuff, man, like that. So these microchips have been known to cause like cancer, man. So whether or not that's what John the Baptist was seeing when he saw,
John the Revelator.
slightly John the Revelator was seeing when he saw these grievous sores come down upon the man that had the mark. I don't know, but it's likely, considering that these things were known to cause cancer in animals and stuff when they were input into them. So that could be very well what John the Revelator was seeing, man. Go ahead, up.
And the second angel poured out his vial upon the.
Hey, Salaki, I thought
Say-
Gideon had something. I thought Gideon had something to say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So that's going to be one of the things that transpires before this third war completely kicks off. But in the meantime, also, man, go to Revelation 7, start at verse 3.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 3, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, so we have sealed the servants of our God in their forehead.
Us brothers are amongst the elect. We've been sealed. But we're still been sealed in our mind with these laws in the name of the Most High Yahweh and Son Yahweh Shah. Go ahead up. Verse
And
4.
I heard the number of them that were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
So it's going to be 144,000 total elect men of all 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Now that's not all that's going to be saved. I mean, it's going to be 1/3 of Israel brought through this fire. So a lot of people, who have no understanding, they read that and they think that it's only going to be 144,000 Israelites saved. Now, I'm not talking about obviously those who are woke Israel. I'm talking about Christianity, those who don't have no understanding of the Bible.
Yeah, it's lucky if they read it like that. What are women coming for? You mean to tell me it's gonna be nothing but 144,000 men? But this is dealing with the men. So what are women gonna come in at? Sound like some homosexual activity going on in me. Ain't no women gonna be there. I know if my wife don't be there, hey, ain't number gonna be a bunch of men. Hey, I don't think I want to go to that kingdom. Some weird stuff going on.
Verse 9. Revelation 7 and 9. Revelation 7 and 9.
Got it, Corey?
Well, yeah, how can you hear?
Oh, verse 9.
Oh, the book of Revelation,
kind of low,
verse 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds, and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
So the women gonna be amongst that number.
Hey, are you real alone, man?
Let me try to adjust.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, it's lucky. I'm trying to adjust my microphone.
Oh,
What about now? Can you guys hear me better?
yeah, still kind of low,
Yeah.
but yeah, we can hear you.
So you asked them what about the one? So the women are going to be amongst that number, man. But this great multitude, which no man can number, of all nations. That's because we're going to be coming out of all nations, man. Speaking different tongues. There's only Israelites standing before the throne. You go to second. Let's go to second Ezra real quick. Let's get that second Ezra up. Second Ezra chapter 2.
So you want to start at verse 38?
Yeah, 38.
Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 38. Arise up and stand, behold, the number of those that be sealed in the feast of the Lord, which are departed from the shadow of the world, and have received glorious garments of the Lord. Take thy number, O Zion, set up those of thine that are clothed in white, which have fulfilled the law of the Lord.
So that's going to be the rest of Israel. The rest of that 1/3 is going to be saved, which is going to include, men, women, and children. So it ain't just going to be 144,000 men of Israel that makes it into the kingdom. As you said, that'll be that would be weird right there, man. But this is where the women coming in right here.
The number of thy children, whom thou longest for, is fulfilled. Beseech the power of the Lord, that thy people, which have been called from the beginning, may be hallowed. I, Israel, saw upon Mount Zion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praise the Lord with songs.
So Edris is saying the same thing that John the Revelator is saying back in Revelation chapter 7, verse 9, that great multitude is standing before the throne. That's what Edris is saying right here in second Edris chapter 2.
And in the midst of them, there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on immortal, and have confessed the name of God. Now they crown and receive song.
And that young man standing in the midst of them is the Son of the Most High, Yahweh Shai. You brothers got something y'all want to bring out real quick?
No.
All right, hold on. You got something, Tobias?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's go to that First Kings chapter 8, starting verse 46.
Let's start at 46.
Yeah, let me get there real quick. Come on. Go ahead up.
First Kings chapter 8, verse 46. If they sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captive unto the land of the enemy, far or near.
So, I mean, right now we're still in the land of our enemy. We were carried away from the west coast of the so-called continent of Africa over here to the other side of the earth here in America, Babylon. Go ahead.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captive, and repent and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive, saying, We have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness.
So if we remember ourselves in this land where we were carried captive and bethink ourselves and repent and ask the Most High for forgiveness for the sins we've done. Go ahead up.
And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward the land which thou gavest unto their father, the land which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Keep going.
No, you good. The land which he's chosen, which is Jerusalem. So we pray towards it. Go ahead, Spartans.
I got a precept for you.
All right, go ahead.
The book of Baruch, chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity, they should remember themselves.
So, I mean, that's referring to Israel, because Israel is that stiff-necked people, and we in the land of our captivity now. And, you know, the Most High has put his spirit back into us, and we are remembering ourselves. So that goes right along with the verses we're reading in 1 Kings chapter 8. Go ahead, Tobias.
Verse 31, and shall know that I am the Lord their God. I will give them in heart and ears to hear. And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name, and return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds. But they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before me. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of them. And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God. And they shall be my people. You know, I will no more drive my people Israel out of the land that I have given them.
So once the Most High delivers us from this place, this captivity, and brings us back to the land, we are no more going to go back into captivity. So once we're delivered here, we are not going to captivity again. We're going to rule over the nations, and we're not going to have nothing but we're going to have the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments in our inward parts, in our mind, where no man has to teach his brother. So the Most High is going to put his laws, statutes, commandments in us. And as I said, we're not going to captivity again after this captivity. Let's go back to that First King.
Verse 49. Then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. And forgive thy people that have sinned against thee, and all their transgressions wherein they have transgressed against thee, and give them compassion before them who carried them captive, that they may have compassion for them. Okay.
Go ahead, Tobias.
Okay. For they be thy people and thy inheritance, which thou broughtest forth out of Egypt from the midst of the furnace of iron.
So, I mean, we the same people that the Most High brought forth out of the land of ancient Egypt. He's going to bring us forth again to Egypt here. Matter of fact, let's go to that. Let's go to that Jeremiah. Hold on. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 16. Start at verse 14.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, says the Lord, that it should be no more said, the Lord living, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, but the Lord living, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands where he had driven them, and I will bring them again unto their land that I gave unto their father.
So after we're delivered from this Egypt, spiritual Egypt, it's no longer going to be talked about. I mean, we're gonna remember it, but it's no more going to be talked about the deliverance from ancient Egypt. We're going to be talking about deliverance from the spiritual Egypt.
Meaning This deliverance is going to be, you know what I'm saying, supersede that what he did in ancient.
It's
So,
going to supersede that which he did in ancient Egypt. So, as we know, we still talking about ancient Egypt. So we know the true Israelites haven't been delivered yet. They're not in land. So, anyone you want to bring up? Hold on.
like you said, the land of the north, like, you know what I'm saying, the land of the north is referring to, you know, North America. So, like you said, this is North America, land of the north is North America. Egypt, spiritual Egypt is speaking about America. You know, America is basically all those ancient kingdoms rolled up and compiled into one. Because America takes attributes from all those ancient kingdoms that was before. So,
All right, Kyle, let's go to Isaiah 43. Start at read verse 1 and then drop down to verse 5.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 43 and verse 1. But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and he that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. Verse 5. Fear not, for I am with thee. I will bring thy seed from the east and gather them from the west. I will say to the north, give up, and to the south, keep not back. Bring my sons from afar, and my daughters from the ends of the earth.
Keep going. Verse 7.
Everyone that is called by my name, for I have created him for my glory. I have formed him. Yea, I have made him. Bring forth the blind people.
Verse 7 is good. So, the Most High is going to gather us from the four corners of the earth where we were scattered. He's going to bring us out of all nations. That's why going back to Revelations 7 and 9, and it talks about, seeing those from all nations, kindreds, and tongues standing before the thrones. That's what it's referring to. It's referring to the Israelites who gathered from all the nations, because we were scattered from amongst all the nations, speaking various tongues. So that's what it's referring to. It's referring to Israel.
Right, because it said all those that are called by his name. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites were the only ones who had the Lord placed his name upon. He did not call the other nation, the heathen nation, by his name. This is precept Isaiah 63, verse 19. We are thine. Thou never bearest rule over them. They were not called by their name. So the heathen nation, the other nation, were not called by the Most High name. So deliverance is only coming to those who his name is upon, which is what the 12 tribes of Israel.
If you go to Isaiah 147, start at verse 19.
You say go where?
Excuse us, Sluggy. Psalms 147.
No.
Start at verse 19.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 147, verse 19. He showed his word.
Is that Psalms 147?
Psalm 147.
Verse
19?
Yep.
Okay. He shows his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any other nation. And as for his judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord.
So he's only dealt with Israel. The other nations, they don't know the Most High. You know what I'm saying? He never gave them the law, statute, commandments. He never called them by his name. He's only called Israel by his name, Jacob, whose name was changed. He hasn't dealt with any other nation like that. Let's get this, because we need to know why all these things are coming upon the earth, man. So
you got a precept before you get that up. Go along with what you were just saying. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquity.
And that right there, man, that's why we went through all the punishments, all the captivities that we've gone through, man, because it's been us of all the families of the earth that he's on and who's broken his commandments. The other nations were never given his commandments. That's why we've been in and out of these captivities. That's why we're always at the bottom, no matter where you go. That's why no matter where you go on the earth, it seems like everybody discriminates against us. I don't understand why people, man, I think we were talking about this before, want to even try to go to Europe for a vacation for what, man? If you all you got to do is do the research and look at those who've gone over there, man, and on vacation, you see that, hey, man, we hate it. They hate us over there, man. You go over there to spend your money, call yourself sightseeing to engage in European culture for what, man? They hate you over there. That's why Esau, he can go anywhere on this earth, man. And going back before the floods, Esau being Canaan, Mark was put on him, that melanin was taken away. He can go anywhere on this earth, man, and jog through the hood, man, at 2, 3 o'clock at night. Ain't nobody gonna mess with him, man. But the minute one of us go to the hood, man, you wearing the wrong color. Somebody want to take your life.
That's right.
You wearing the wrong color, man. Oh, we're colored, man. You know what I'm saying? Or you got your girl, your woman out there, man. And somebody trying to push up on your woman, trying to want to kill you over a female, man. But Esau go into that hood, man. He could be wearing opposite color. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to him, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's
they also know, like, how people know if we kill each other, man, you probably do give about 10 years, do about 5, you out. Then you kill the so-called white man, they gonna bury you up under that prison. Because his brother at work was just telling me with a guy he know who plays sports, and got into a little trouble, and they had messed around and tried to rob this so-called white man, and they killed him because the man was, just fighting back. So they got sentenced to 55 years in prison. So if you would have killed your own kind, ain't no way they would have got 55 years.
Shoot, man. I know when Dad and I used to talk, man, he used to tell me, man, about, brother killing another brother, man, get like 3 years, man. Be on probation 3 years, you know what I'm saying? For taking the life of another Israelite. But you're right, man. I mean, you take the life of Edomite, man, you'd be lucky if you get out, if you even see daylight again, man. They don't keep you in solitary. I mean, look at what happened to first of all, there's no statute of limitation on so-called murder. But look at what happened to the woman that lied on Emmett Till, bro. There was an active arrest warrant out for her, man. There was no statute of limitation on murder. What did they do? They decided to let that female die of natural death, man. If that had been any one of us, man, that, one of our elderly women would have lied back in the day on an Edomite kid and resulted in his death, man, they would have hurried up and put the cuffs on him, man. You know what I'm saying? But nah, now they're right there to show you, man. I mean, this isn't our rest, man. They don't care about us here, bro. We the only people, man. The only people, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, who, as we mentioned before, man, we the only people that cannot stand up and protect ourselves. And if we do, there's a problem because we still being ruled over the people that have oppressed us, that enslaved us. You know what I'm saying? As long as you agree with the BS that they peddling, the narrative that they pushing, I ain't gonna say they don't have a problem with you. They still got a problem with you, but they ain't gonna mess with you too much. But the minute you start going against the narrative they pushing, man, then all of a sudden they try to twist your words, try to make you out to be a menace to society and all this stuff, man. Why? So they can imprison and take away your freedom, man. Because as we know, that's one of the ways, man, after physical captivity they came up with in order to put us back into slavery again, man, was to incarcerate you. So they quick to want to incarcerate us, man. But it's like they're more lenient on their own people, man. Which you look at what happened to George Floyd's murder in prison, man. He just got stabbed 22 times. I'm not sure if he's gonna make it out of that, man. But, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that man, really, man, it's justice, man. I mean, he took a man's life, man. You know what I'm saying?
But they gotta make an example out of one, out of all them they kill hundreds that killers. So they're like, man, we gotta go on and sacrifice one of them, put one in prison so we can make it seem like, what I'm saying, they give some type of justice. But really, they could, what I'm saying, they wouldn't even put him in prison, man. These people don't give a damn about the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American man life. But in the police, they know that they'll kill you, get a paid vacation, just like this one Edomite who killed this One of these so-called black kids, man. He was laid off, but now he got his job back and he got $200,000 in back pay. So he just got a paid vacation, came back and got $200,000, man. Put his job back.
What the scripture say, man? Who is possessed to slay them and hold himself back? Come on, man. I mean, $200,000 back pay, man. So a paid vacation, and he's still back on the job, man. Still free to do that to another.
Hey, to kill another black man.
Come on, man. But see, they don't see that, man. They don't see nothing wrong with that, man. It's only if you're an Edomite that your life seen matter over here, man. If you're an Edomite and maybe a Moabite, because Moab got their own country, they got their own military. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they know they can't kill them other nations like that because they was be start killing Chinese or the Moabites, you know what I'm saying, like that over here in this land. It would be all there, man. They country would come over here and go to war. They know we have no power. They just kill us at will. Ain't nothing gonna be done. The only thing we're gonna do is march with a few little protests. That's it, man. But they do that to the other countries. Those countries have a military. They have all type of power, so they're gonna come and raise war on soils of America. They was to do that to their people, man.
Come, man. Well, I mean, we do have a power. Most High Yahweh our powers, but Most High is long suffering. So the nations think that they can do what they will with us, man, and just get away with it. Nothing's gonna happen, man. So that's why they do us like that, man. Because right now they haven't seen a payback. Nothing has happened to them for what they've done to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American. They've just been allowed to go along and live, live life up, man. Gather riches, and they don't think nothing's going to happen to them because of that, man. But let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 15 and start at verse 20 through 21.
Start at verse 20?
Yeah, verse 20 through 21.
Okay. Book of 2 Ezra, chapter 15, verse 20. Behold, saith the Lord, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, from Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another, and to repay the king that they have done to them. And repay the things that they have done to them.
So the Most High is going to gather the nations to repay the things that he's done, that the nations have done to his people. He's going to, and this is talking about that third world war that is going into it. He's gathering them over in the so-called Middle East. So he's gathered them to do battle for the things that they've done to us. Go ahead with that verse 20.
Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also, and recompense their bosom. Thus saith the Lord God.
So like I was just talking about, so the other nations think that nothing's going to happen to them for what they've done to the children of Israel. But when you read the scriptures tell you that's not the case. The Most High is gathering them to do battle amongst themselves, where he's going to repay them for the things that they've done to Israel. You know what I'm saying? We go to let's go to Joel chapter 3, start verse 2.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
So the Most High there again, the scriptures talk about him gathering the nations and to battle in that valley of Jehoshaphat, talking about the valley of decision, where he's going to plead with the nations for his people, for his heritage Israel. So when a lot of times people think of but that's not the case. We're going to come back to this.
You had broke up. All
right, so I said there again, we see the Most High is gathering the nations, where he's going to plead with them in a valid decision for what they've done to his people, Israel. A lot of times what people think of when they hear the word plead is they think that somebody's going to come talk with them. have a discussion with them. However, let's go to that Isaiah 66 real quick. We're going to come back to this Joel 3.
Verse 14, 15.
Yeah, start verse 15.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
So he's going to come
For
with
by
them. So the Most High is going to send his son back with them chariots, some so-called UAPs or UFOs. Go ahead, verse 16.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many.
So the Most High isn't sending Yahweh Shah back to talk with these nations. He ain't going to go sit down with the UN, or he ain't going to go to the White House and sit down with Biden and nothing like that. The Most High is sending Yahweh Shah back to destroy these nations with fire. That's what he talked about when he said he's going to plead with the nations. He's sent back to destroy these nations for what they've done to his children Israel. Let's go back to Joel 3 and 2.
The book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2. And I will also gather all nations, will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
God. So he's bringing all nations together so that he can put that fire on their ass. He's going to bring fire to them for what they've done to the children of Israel, to his people. They haven't gotten away with nothing. They may think they've gotten away. They may, go to sleep at night thinking that, we had those guys in captivity. Ain't nothing ever going to happen to us, but that's not the case. The Most High has not forgotten what they've done to his people. And they're going to pay for what they've done. Let's go to Isaiah 35, 31 and 5.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 31 and verse 5. As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. Defend also he will deliver it, and passing over he will preserve it.
So Jerusalem in this case is talking about the people, because we were a people before we were a place. But as birds flying, it's talking about them chariots. A lot of times when the brothers show pictures of short video clips of chariots, you see them flying in formation like birds flying. So he's talking about delivering us with those chariots. That's going to be our deliverance. What's that verse in what is it talking about? The strangeness of their deliverance. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, come. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5. We started. I started verse 1. Then should a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. When they see it, they should be troubled with terrible fear and should be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they have looked.
God. So when the Most High sent his son Yahweh Shah back in the angels, the nations, the elite, they know we're going to be delivered on those chariots. But the rest of the common people, they're not expecting so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to be beamed aboard so-called UFOs and be delivered out of here. As the verse said, they took no account of our labors. That's why every time, except doing when it comes time to vote or whatever, nobody ever talks about reparations because they took no account of our labors. But yet you see that Congress is giving like $100 billion to those Amalek over there in the land to help them fight the war. For what? What have they done to earn that? They haven't done anything to earn that. But this country is built up on our backs, the backs of our ancestors, and nobody has taken account of our labors. Every time you try to bring it up, what was done to us here in Babylon, what did they do? Oh, that was in the past. You know what I'm saying? Oh, why can't we just move past that? Shit, why can't we just move past what happened to the 1948ers? During World War II. Why can't we just move past that? Move move past that, but they always want to move past all the pain and suffering that the so-called natives, blacks and so-called natives, Negroes, and Hispanics are suffering in this country. That's why our people sit down, and just last week they were just celebrating Thanksgiving, which was a destruction of our people, because nobody takes account of our labor. Nobody gives a crap about the pain that Israel is going through here. Nobody, except for the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Most High Yahweh Shai. So when we beamed up those chairs, I pray us brothers, we beamed up. Ain't nobody gonna be expecting that. They think we all crazy for saying, "Hey, we're gonna be beamed up on these so-called UFOs." Man, our ancestors knew these things all way back, man. That's why they used to sing those old Negro spirituals, swing low,
swing chariot.
I mean, what chariots you think they were talking about? Horse driven, like the actual flaming chariot, like in the old days. That's what you think. Come on, man. Most High got more. If Esau has the technology that he has, the Most High has much greater than that. So the Most High ain't gonna send out just some Perseus horse named Perseus with a little cart-driven chariot on it. No, he's talking about them so-called UFOs, man. That's why the nations are so fearful. That's why, in particular, Babylon is so fearful of those UFOs, because the elite knows that's going to be those are the chariots of Israel, and that's how we come back to be delivered. That's how they're coming back to deliver us, and they know the things that they've done to us here. So they're trying to keep this word from coming out. You know what I'm saying? You brothers got anything?
Yeah, I was gonna say verses in Wisdom of Solomon 5, verses 4 and 5. It goes along with what you were just saying about them having us in captivity and destroying our mind. How when they see the strangers of our captivity, why they'll be strange to them, because most of us today, they see how most of the blacks, Hispanic, the way we act and the way we carry ourselves today, it ain't no way that we can be children of God. So like verse 4 and 5 says, we fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. How is it he numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? So it's gonna be real strange to them when they find out that we are actually the children of God. And because of how the world portrays us today, it ain't no way that the blacks, Hispanic, the Native American, ain't no way they can be God's children. That's why it's gonna be strange to them, and they're gonna wonder how can we be numbered? How are we actually the children of God? So when they find out that we are, it's gonna be strange to them.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be strange to our own people, really, man, because they've been here in the sand, they've been blowing it off, man, because they've been led to believe that God did away with his people, which that ain't nowhere in the Bible, man. As a matter of fact, the Bible says opposite, man. But even our own people are gonna be surprised, bro. They're gonna wish they'd have been listening. But as you and I was talking about, the scriptures, man, the end has been foretold from the beginning, man. So it's already been, the Most High already knows who he was going to wake up, who the 1/3 is, who the 2/3 is. So in effect, man, if you look at it, can the 2/3 really, knowing that, can the 2/3 really repent? If it's already been predestined.
It's already predestined.
So the 2/3 really can't repent because it's already been predestined, because Most High knows who he's going to deliver out of his place. Let's go to Revelation.
Got a precept for you to go along with the chariot. In the book of 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass, and they still went on and taught that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in 2 pieces.
So the prophet Elijah went up. So what these so-called UFOs are, they knew that they were the chariots of Israel back then. You know what I'm saying? That was no surprise to them. Just in these latter days, man, I mean, knowledge of who we are was taken from us here in captivity. You know what I'm saying? So these things sound strange to us, but right here you see that our people knew that this whirlwind, this chariot of fire, whatever, they knew what the so-called UFO was. That was a chariot.
That's right.
So those are the same chariot that took Elijah up, are the same chariots that's coming back to deliver the 1/3 out of this fire.
He got beaten up in the chair, what they would call being abducted today. They even had a movie, you know what I'm saying, back in the day called Fire in the Sky. And what they were referring to, they were referring to a so-called UFO. But this ain't no aliens coming abducting, you know what I'm saying, people doing experiments on them, man. You know what I'm saying, putting pros in the up in them and stuff, man. This ain't no stuff like that going on, man. These chairs are coming to this earth and they're gonna be beating up and delivering, you know what I'm saying, the elect of the nation of Israel.
Yeah, those chariots coming back, man.
Breaking up, can't hear y'all.
No, I said, what you were going to, man, with the fire in the sky. Esau knows, the elite of Esau knows what these so-called UAPs are, man. Fire in the sky. There's a reason why they call it fire in the sky, man. Putting it right in our face, man. Fire in the sky. It's talking about the so-called UFO. It's talking about the chariots of Israel, man. So
got another one.
Go ahead.
There's the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, verse 17. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee. But Elijah prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. So it showed, man, that these chariots, you know what I'm saying, they can be around us because they're spiritual. So they can appear, you know what I'm saying, disappear at will, man. Because we got, whether we know it or not, we have angels all around us, you know what I'm saying, 24/7. But that's how you see you be seeing these videos that people be posting, they be capturing on their cell phone of the chair just appear out of nowhere in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing that was going on back then. These chairs are so-called UFOs can appear, and, you know what I'm saying, disappear at will.
And that's how we can't, nobody can shoot them down either. Like you spoke into last Sabbath class, man. So Esau claiming to be able to shoot these, chariots out the sky like Roswell and the thing that happened in New Mexico or Arizona a couple months ago, or whatever. We know that ain't true, man. These are spiritual aircraft, man. Piloted by spiritual beings, man. How the heck you think that something that you came up with, lower technology, is going to affect anything spiritual, man? It's not. So for anybody believing that, that Esau somehow has alien technology or whatever, that he reverse engineered. First of all, I ain't no such thing as aliens. That he didn't reverse engineered, man. I mean, man, you need to come out of that madness, man. Esau ain't shooting no chariot down. They know that's how Yahweh shot the angels are returning. And that's why they're so fearful of these so-called UAPs, man, UFOs, because they know their end is coming. Revelations 2. Start at verse 26.
Repeat that.
Revelation 2 and start at verse 26.
Book of Revelations, chapter 2 and verse 26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
So to those Israelites, and I pray that we amongst that elect, that 144 and that 1/3, to those of us who overcome, he's going to give power to us to rule over these nations. And we're going to rule with them. We're going to rule with a rod of iron over these nations. You know what I'm saying? We're going to teach them the righteous ways of the Most High Yahweh Shah, the same as they taught us, they pagan ways when it comes to worshiping their gods. They white Jesus. They false Sabbath day, and they false holidays. We're going to teach them the holy days. We're going to teach them righteousness, but we're going to rule over them with a rod of iron. And it's going to be the ones that overcome, that 144 and that 1/3, that's given this power over the nations to rule over them during that 1,000-year reign with Yahweh Shah. And then, of course, the rest of the dead, meaning the rest of Israel, because dead, he who wanted out of the way of understanding remains in the congregation of the dead. So the rest of Israel was going to live again after that, and that's going to be reward that the Most High gives to his servants who overcome, meaning keep his law, statutes, commandments, have faith in Hamashiach Yahweh. So even if you give up the ghost or you wind up being martyred during these upcoming times, as long as you die keeping the law, statutes, commandments, and faith in the Son, Hamashiach Yahweh, or whether you are keeping the law, statutes, commandments, having faith in Hamashiach Yahweh to his return, that's what it's talking about, overcoming, and that's what it's talking about, enduring to the end. That's one of the things that Christians don't understand. You got to endure to the end. Just because you go and get saved, number one, you got to be keeping Most High's commandments. And when I mentioned saved, just because you, let me back up, Salaki on that. Just because you went and got dipped under some water and say, you know, you believe in Jesus. Jesus is not the same name of the Son and Most High. His name is Yahweh. He had a Hebrew name. So enduring to the end, keeping his commandments, and then through faith, but only the righteous are going to scarcely be saved out of here. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta really be, you know, making your walk sure or whatever, so to speak.
You got to make your calling your election sure.
That's what I meant to say.
And work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Brothers got anything? You brothers got anything?
Nah.
No, that's all I have for this lesson, Israel. But I hope you guys were edified, and all praises to the Most High Yahweh, and the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. This is the Son of God's Alabama, signing off.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.